I invite you to pray with me. Gracious God, you are the source of all truth and beauty, all goodness and love. We ask you to bless these graduates as they finish their course of study. We thank you for those who taught and worked beside them, for their families and all who supported them along the way. We ask you to walk with them as they leave this place and move forward in life. Take away any anxiety and confusion of purpose they may feel. Strengthen their talents and skills. Give them confidence in you and in the future you have for them. Enable them to use their energies for the good of all people. We ask these things through your Son and in your Spirit of truth. Amen.
On behalf of the summer and fall graduating classes of 2011, the faculty, staff, students, and alumni, I would like to welcome you to the fall commencement exercises at Southeastern Oklahoma State University. To the graduates, it is a great pleasure for me, along with the rest of the Southeastern family, to be able to be a part of this commencement ceremony, which marks the beginning of your life as a professional and the point in your life where every conceivable option is open to you. This commencement ceremony is particularly significant at Southeastern Oklahoma State University because 67 of our graduates today are first-generation college graduates, the first in their families to receive a college degree. We're very proud to be a part of this life-changing experience. Today's graduating class also includes students from 19 states across our great country and 6 other countries. In addition to our home state graduates, we have graduates from as near as Texas and Arkansas and as far away as China and Africa. Each graduate has a special and unique story to tell. While I mentioned that we have some 67 first-generation graduates today, we also have some third and fourth generation graduates. This includes one graduate whose great-grandmother was the first in her family to graduate from Southeastern in 1949. Commencement is indeed an event that the graduating class of 2011 will always remember and cherish. To our graduates, graduating from this university is a tremendous honor, and no one can accomplish this goal alone. Let's take this opportunity to thank your parents, spouses, relatives, and friends, all of whom have played important roles in helping you reach this goal and have helped to make today's celebration even more special. I would like to ask all parents, relatives, spouses, and friends of today's graduates to please stand as the class of 2011 joins me in expressing appreciation to all of you for your support. I would also like to ask everyone to join me in expressing appreciation to our outstanding faculty members and their dedication and commitment to our students and to Southeastern Oklahoma State University. Let's now thank Dr. John Breon, pastor of the First United Methodist Church in Durant, for offering our invocation this morning. I want to also acknowledge the Southeastern Symphonic Winds under the direction of Dr. Jacob Wallace and the Southeastern Chorale under the direction of Dr. Stacy Wieger for providing our music today. I'll now introduce today's platform guests and ask that they stand as they are introduced. Please hold your applause until all of our guests have been introduced. First, to my right, Dr. Lucretia Scofus, Dean of the School of Arts and Sciences. Dr. William Maurer, Dean of the School of Education and Behavioral Sciences. Dr. Teresa Hensser, Chair of Accounting and Finance in the John Massey School of Business. Dr. Jerry Polson, Assistant Vice President for Academic Affairs. Dr. John Breon, Pastor, First United Methodist Church, Durant. Ms. Liz McGraw, Dean of Enrollment Management. Mr. Mark Webb, President of the Southeastern Oklahoma State University Alumni Association. Dr. Camille Phelps, Dean of Students. Again to my right, Regent Terry Matlock, Regional University System of Oklahoma. Mr. Rodney Bivens, our Fall 2011 Commencement Speaker. Dr. Douglas McMillan, Interim Vice President for Academic Affairs. Mr. Ross Walcup, Vice President for Business Affairs. Ms. Sharon Robinson, Vice President for Student Affairs. Please join me in recognizing these individuals. We're privileged today to have with us Regent Terry Matlock of the Regional University System of Oklahoma. Regent Matlock earned 2 degrees in business at Southeastern, and in 2007 was honored as a distinguished alumnus by the university. Regent Matlock was appointed to the Board of Regents by Governor Brad Henry in 2009, and he has provided valuable leadership in that role. His wife, Carrie, is also actively involved in supporting Southeastern, serving on our Alumni Association Board of Directors. Please welcome Regent Terry Matlock, class of 1985 and 1987.
Thank you, Dr. Meeks. Good morning. And on behalf of the Regional University System of Oklahoma, I'd like to welcome you to Southeastern Oklahoma State University and welcome you to the fall commencement ceremony. When asked for the supporters to stand a while ago, I noticed that almost everyone in here stood, and let me tell you, that was the supporters, the people that have given support, the friends and the family. And as a parent of two children who are two young men who are in college at the same time, I understand it does take a village to raise one. For most of you that are graduating today, this will be a changing point in your life. Yesterday, most of you probably had to pack up, load everything in your car, and ready yourselves for the move. And your parents who stood a while ago are probably going to tell you, just leave it packed, keep it in the car, because as soon as this weekend's over, you go to the real world. Go find a job. You're going to leave behind that security that mom and dad have provided for so many years, that known that's always been there. And you'll transition from last week to next week into the world of the unknown. Some of you may remember a lady by the name of Rosa Parks. Talk about the unknown. Rosa Parks, if you can imagine, 1955, in the state of Alabama, sitting on a bus, being asked to stand and move so that a white gentleman could sit in her seat, and she refused to do so. The unknown. But Rosa Parks said that knowing what has to be done does away with fear. She said, when I sat down on the bus that day, I had no idea history was being made. I was only thinking about getting home. She was thinking about where she was going. But she knew that she had to make up her mind. Whatever the decision was that she made, whatever took her to the future, she had to make up her mind. Then there's a story that was told about a spy that was sentenced before a general in the Persian army, and said the general gave the man a choice, said he could go before the firing squad or he could walk through this big door. The man chose the firing squad because the general said they always choose the known for the unknown. And then when the aide asked the general what was behind the big door, he simply stated, freedom. Sometimes we have to step out into the unknown. And that's where many of you will be stepping out in the coming weeks, is to the unknown to build a future that you've never known. Well, Rosa Parks continued on the interview that day, and she said, whatever she had to face, she felt that it was time for her to stand up, or in her case, sit down on the bus that day. So let me encourage each of you as you graduate and you leave here today to be strong and be of good courage. Face what's out there tomorrow. Do know when to stand up and know when to sit down. Congratulations to each of you.
Thank you, Regent Matlock. Dr. Douglas McMillan, Interim Vice President for Academic Affairs, will now introduce our honors graduates.
I would first like to recognize the men and women who are serving as student marshals for this morning's exercises. Our marshals are members of either Blue Key, a national leadership fraternity, or Cardinal Key, a national leadership sorority. We want to express our appreciation for the outstanding service Blue Key and Cardinal Key provide at commencement and many other campus events. If the members of Blue Key and Cardinal Key will stand, let's please recognize them at this time. Gonfalons were carried in by one of the top graduates in their respective schools. Leading in the School of Arts and Sciences was Renee Kuchasa Mayfield. Leading in the School of Education and Behavioral Science was Christy Diane Parsons. Leading in the John Massey School of Business was Tiffany Dawn Pierce. William Cass Billy French Jr. led the graduate school procession. Let's please recognize them at this time. We are gathered here today to celebrate the academic achievements of every one of our graduates. This is truly your day to shine. There are a few, however, whose special achievements deserve recognition. On behalf of the faculty, I would now like to recognize these outstanding students. The first of several groups that we will recognize are the graduates who are members of the National Honor Society, Alpha Chi. Students from all majors are eligible for membership into this university-wide honor society. In order to qualify, the members of Alpha Chi had to be ranked in the top 10% of their senior class, or their junior class also, while maintaining at least a 3.65 grade point average. Alpha Chi members can be recognized by the white stole each is wearing. Will all Alpha Chi members please stand and be recognized? The Southeastern Honors Program, built on the foundation of the Parsons Scholars Program, has a long and honorable tradition that goes back to 1978, when David L. Parsons, a 1928 Southeastern alumnus, endowed the Parsons Scholars Scholarship. Today, the Southeastern Honors Program is committed to the ongoing growth and development of a culturally diverse and academically talented group of honor students with a focus on educational excellence as well as cultural and technological literacy. The program challenges high-caliber students with special talents and abilities to develop local and global awareness and to achieve their full potential. It is with great pleasure that I announce the two honors program graduates who have fulfilled the rigorous course of study that qualifies them to be recognized as honors graduates for fall 2011. Please stand when I call your name. Jordan Pebworth Hayes, a biology major from Rattan, Oklahoma, a graduate of Rattan High School. Creed Nathan, a business management major from Hugo, Oklahoma, a graduate of Hugo High School. I will now introduce the fall 2011 honor graduates. These students are graduating in the upper 10% of their class. We will recognize three groups of honors graduates today. The first are those graduating cum laude or with honors. These students represent the upper 6 to 10% of the fall 2011 graduating class. As I call your name, please stand and remain standing until all cum laude graduates have been named. We ask you to please hold your applause until all have been announced. John Roger Baker, an art major from Tishomingo, Oklahoma. Bernard L. Burris, an aviation management major from Edmond, Oklahoma. Jonna Ruth Dodson, an elementary education major from Eagletown, Oklahoma. Mark Wesley Greenway, an elementary education major from Ardmore, Oklahoma. Charlie Joe Haggard, a music major from Ardmore, Oklahoma. Leslie Jan Hobson, a psychology major from Broken Bow, Oklahoma. Ty Allen Lambert, a history major from Wilson, Oklahoma. Matthew Christopher Malone, a recreation major from Pottsboro, Texas. Carrie Elizabeth Martindale, a Spanish major from Durant, Oklahoma. Matthew Dean Morris, an elementary education major from Caddo, Oklahoma. Patricia Lorraine Pace, a biology major from Howe, Texas. Kelly Lynn Taylor, an occupational safety and health major from Durant, Oklahoma. Cody Wayne Tilley, a biology major from Denison, Texas. David Allen Tumbleson, a psychology major from Idabel, Oklahoma. Kathleen Ethel Wilson, an applied behavioral science major from Boca Chica, Oklahoma. Let's give our cum laude graduates a applause. The next group is graduating magna cum laude or with high honors. These students represent the upper 3 to 5% of the fall 2011 graduating class. Again, please stand as your name is called and remain standing until all in the group have been named. Please hold your applause until everyone is standing. Josie Begley, a political science major from Atoka, Oklahoma. Amanda Jean Jones, an elementary education major from McAllister, Oklahoma. Philip James Leonard, a fisheries and wildlife major from Tishomingo, Oklahoma. Jeremy Todd Lyons, an elementary education major from Pottsboro, Texas. Bonnie Mae Peterson, an elementary education major from Marietta, Oklahoma. Tiffany Dawn Pierce, a marketing major from Durant, Oklahoma. Lila Ann Pierce Voss, an applied behavioral science major from Hayworth, Oklahoma. Kathy A. Randall, an applied sciences major from Colbert, Oklahoma. Tanya D. Van Sickle, an elementary education major from Sherman, Texas. Brian Emery Woodard, a special education major from Durant, Oklahoma. Let's recognize our magna cum laude. The final and most exclusive category of honors graduates to be recognized is those graduating summa cum laude with highest honors. These students represent the top 2% of their graduating class. This morning we are recognizing the following summa cum laude graduates. Again, please hold your applause until everyone is standing. Kyle Gregory Jolliffe, a music major from Ardmore, Oklahoma. Irma Sue Kyle, an applied arts and science major from Sherman, Texas. Renee Kushasa Mayfield, a graphic design and visual media major from Sulphur Springs, Texas. Christy Diane Parsons, a special education major from Soper, Oklahoma. Brianna Christine Rustin, a communication major from Durant, Oklahoma. Arthur Alfred Sterrett, an aviation management major from Midwest City, Oklahoma. Timothy P. Story, an aviation management major from Norman, Oklahoma. Crystal Sherelle Wary, a communication major from Idabel, Oklahoma. Let's recognize our summa cum laude graduates. As a university, we're honored and fortunate to be surrounded by students of this caliber. You should all be commended for your hard work and dedication to your university, your family, most importantly, your future. One more time, let's recognize our honors graduates.
It's an honor for me to introduce today's speaker for our 2011 Fall Commencement ceremony, Mr. Rodney W. Bivens, the founder and executive director of the Regional Food Bank of Oklahoma. Like many of our recent commencement speakers, Mr. Bivens is a graduate of Southeastern. It's always extra special for us to welcome back an alumnus and hear his or her story about their path to success. Mr. Bivens graduated from Southeastern in 1971, earning a degree in sociology with a minor in accounting and business administration. In addition, he holds a master's degree in social work from the University of Oklahoma. Mr. Bivens founded the food bank in 1980 after his work with other nonprofit agencies led him to witness what hunger can do to individuals and families, and out of his personal conviction that no one should have to face the tragedy of being without food in a state and a nation blessed with so much abundance. Under his direction, the Regional Food Bank has evolved into a highly respected model for food banks across the country, serving more than 825 elementary schools and charitable feeding programs throughout 53 central and western Oklahoma counties. Mr. Bivens has dedicated his entire professional life to social services and improving the quality of life in central Oklahoma. He was awarded the prestigious John Van Hinkle Award in 2007 in recognition of his outstanding efforts in the fight against hunger. In 2009, the Oklahoma Center for Nonprofits recognized the Regional Food Bank of Oklahoma as the outstanding nonprofit for the state. Please join me in welcoming Mr. Rodney Bivens, Executive Director and founder of the Regional Food Bank of Oklahoma and Southeastern alumnus.
Thank you, President Meeks, graduates and graduate families, and distinguished guests. I'd also like to thank my lovely and wonderful wife, Dawn, for being my inspiration day in and day out. I can remember graduating from Southeastern School of 1000 Magnolias. I worked at the bookstore, was the president of the Student Faculty Forum. It is really a deep pleasure to be here today to celebrate your graduation. It was many years ago I was at the same place you are today, thinking about what wonderful opportunities lie before me. And I was trying to think back to the commencement speaker that day and the speech. And what I kept thinking to myself was, man, I hope it's short so I can get out of here. I do remember Congressman Carl Albert, Speaker of the U.S. House of Representatives, was here that day. He was affectionately known as the Little Giant from Little Dixie. There were several jokes that day from people on the stage about people's height. I remember Dr. Sturts, the Dean of Instruction, who was also small in stature, made a comment about he would be the last one to get wet if it rained. I saw him after the ceremonies was over, and I mentioned to him that he would also be the first one to drown. There were two principles my parents shared with me have guided me throughout my life. My mother only had a 6th grade education. My father had a 4th grade education. I was the first to graduate in my family from college. My mother always said, "Kent never did anything." And my dad would say, "You're only as good as your handshake." My mother made me believe I could be anything and do anything I wanted to if I was willing to sacrifice and work hard enough. My dad would say, "When you ultimately leave this earth, son, the only thing you're going to take with you is your integrity." He always told me no matter what I did in life, always do it to the best of my ability. You will likely have many jobs and many positions in your lifetime. Some of them you probably will not enjoy. I encourage you to still do each one of them to the best of your ability. Be the best you can be until you find the one thing that really ignites your passion. Never be afraid to take risk. Never be afraid to challenge yourself. Never be afraid of failure, because a measure of your character is many times determined by the adversity you face. If you decide you cannot do something, then you can't do it. Do not limit your possibilities because of the unknown or fear. Challenge yourself to be the best you can be at the very moment you find yourself in, whether you want to be there or not. You have the opportunity to claim your own destiny. It's really up to you. You have already proven yourself today by your ability to achieve and earn your degree. You now are leaving there today with your glass half full. It is your responsibility to fill that glass now, brimming over the top with life's experiences, adventure, knowledge. I am reminded of the time when I played football for Chickasha High School, and we were playing the Ada Cougars in Ada. We were known as the Fighting Chicks, which obviously instilled fear in our opponents. They had 75 players on their team, we had 19. They had been the undefeated state champions the year before, and they were currently undefeated. The Fighting Chicks hadn't won a game in 2 years, and we were continuing in that proud tradition. One of our assistant coaches was being interviewed before the game by a local radio station during warm-ups. The reporter asked the coach what his strategy was for the game. Well, the coach thought for a moment, kind of stepped back, and said, "Our strategy for the game is to drop back 10 yards, dig in, and try to save our equipment." Do not follow this strategy in life. Do not be the one that walks through life softly. Make each step intentional. Trust your intuition, for it will guide you. Keep your idealism alive. Live each day to its fullest, so that when you lay your head down at night, you can say, "It was a good day," or "I did my best." All of us have a story to tell. Never be afraid to share your story with others, because it's who you are. Even if it is painful at times, you should never be embarrassed about who you are. We are all some of our parts. It is said there are probably at least 10 events in life that you will face that will determine who you are or who you will become. I could define many of those in my own life. When my mother was pulling me through the cotton fields on her back, and I can remember the songs being sung in the fields. We referred to them as Negro spirituals in those days. When my dad was paralyzed in a car accident and wasn't expected to live, and my mother struggled to put food on her table. When I couldn't go to the Little League World Series in Kansas City because I'd broken my arm. When I was drafted into the Army during the Vietnam conflict. When John Kennedy and Bobby Kennedy and Martin Luther King were killed. When I experienced both the great and challenging times here at Southeastern. When I was asked to travel to South Florida for Hurricane Andrew, well, over 154,000 of our citizens became homeless overnight. And I'll never forget standing there, and a little 6-year-old girl came walking up in a red wagon. We were distributing food, and asked if she could get help for her family. We loaded her wagon with food and water, and I said I'd walk back with her to her house. We walked about 3 or 4 blocks, and I'll never forget as long as I live. I saw her 2 brothers and her mother sitting on the steps of what used to be their house, blankly staring off into space. I remember the Oklahoma City bombing. I remember last summer when a little 7-year-old boy had a sack lunch that the food bank had provided. I asked him what was in his sack. He said he didn't know. I said, well, let's look. He opened it up with his big brown eyes and a beautiful smile on his face. He looked at me and said, I've got a peach. I've never had a peach before. Those are poignant moments you'll never forget as long as you live. Yes, we all have events in our lives that have shaped who we are. Hopefully most of your memories will be happy ones, but you may find many that are painful, but they are who you are. Do not let your life pass you by. Live your life without regret. Never look back and say, I wish I had tried that. Try it. William Arthur Ward said it better than I can. The adventure of life is to learn. The purpose of life is to grow. The challenge of life is to overcome. The essence of life is to care. The opportunity of life is to serve. The secret of life is to dare. The spice of life is to befriend. The beauty of life is to give. He further said, the pessimist complains about the wind. The optimist expects the wind to change. And the realist adjusts their sails. I say to you today, be prepared to adjust your sails. I said I would keep my remarks short because the words I share with you today are not what's important. What is important is what you become as a person. Become the person you want to be. As someone once said, you cannot change what you do not acknowledge. Don't be afraid to change. Don't be afraid to take risks, to stretch yourself beyond what you thought your possibilities were. Never take what you have for granted. I leave you with this parting thought. Some are saying today that the American dream is dying or dead. I say to you today that it lives in each and every one of you. Thank you.
Thank you, Rodney, for that inspirational message, and we would like to present you with a gift and really appreciate you and your lovely wife, Dawn, being with us today. I would now ask Dr. Lucretia Scofus, Dean of the School of Arts and Sciences, to come to the podium for the purpose of presenting the candidates for baccalaureate degrees in the School of Arts and Sciences.
Will the candidates for bachelor's degrees in the School of Arts and Sciences please stand? President Meeks, these students have completed all said requirements for their respective degrees, and they are recommended by the faculty of the School of Arts and Sciences for the granting of degrees as listed in the program.
Consistent with the statutes of the state of Oklahoma, the rules and regulations of the Higher Learning Commission of the North Central Association of Colleges and Schools, the rules and regulations of the Oklahoma State Regents for Higher Education, and the Regional University System of Oklahoma Board of Regents, and by the authority vested in me by the Regents, it is my pleasure to confer on each of you the baccalaureate degree as printed in the program with the rights, ranks, privileges, and responsibilities such a degree carries among scholars. In testimony thereof, you may now come forward and receive your degree.
Dina Samir Budon. Ricky Beatty. Jenny Bergstrom. Tiffany Bohannon. Wamsutta Brown. Dennis Allen Chastain. Carrie Clift. Stephen Cochran. Brandy Dawn Cox. Sherry Diane Cross. Dawn Dalpass. Brandy Dill. Brian Eugene Evans. Alana Marie Fernandez. Kelly Bays Fultz. Mara Beth Fuller. Lauren Elizabeth Gibson. Barbara Talisa Brady. Haley J. Grant. Kirsten Nicole Greenway. Charlie Joe Haggard. Gypsy Paul. Karen Laye May Hicks. Heather Haynes. Autumn Harrison. Taylor Christian Hurst. Kyle Darrell, summa cum laude. Rachel Carr. Sean Kirkland. Trina Renee Berry Kirkpatrick. Irma Kyle, summa cum laude. Amanda Lee. Ashley Diane McCollum. Benny Lindemoon. Curtis Lusk. Justin Maxey. Eric McBride. Morgan Leanne Miller. Bethany Ann Mitchell. Devin Mullen. Jeff Newman.
Congratulations. Good luck to you.
Patricia Noel.
Congratulations.
Cody Oliver.
Congratulations. Good luck to you.
Patricia Pace, cum laude.
Congratulations. Good luck to you.
Michael Pennington.
Congratulations. Good luck to you.
Samantha Pereira.
Congratulations. Thank you.
Lucas Wayne Perry.
Congratulations.
April Danielle Wallace Pettit.
Congratulations. Good luck to you.
K.C. Pfister.
Congratulations. Good luck to you.
Alish Singh. Matthew Schubert. Taryn Wade Sherwood.
Congratulations. Good luck to you.
Pravesh Shakar. Chase Tanner Young Scott. Kyle Savage.
Congratulations. Good luck.
Randall Dale Riley.
Congratulations. Good luck to you.
Jessica Reese.
Congratulations. Good luck to you.
Caleb Reese.
Congratulations. Good luck to you.
Krista Ramirez.
Congratulations. Good luck to you.
Colton Prince.
Congratulations.
Zach Price.
Congratulations. Good luck to you.
Joshua Mohammadi.
Congratulations.
Kimberly Platt. Daniel Wesley. Jeremy Webb. Carrie Ann Barnett Went. Ahmed Bilal Wani. James Allen Washington. Courtney Walters. Aaron Keith Wakefield.
Congratulations. Good luck to you.
Daniel Vanderslice.
Congratulations.
Lee Turner.
Congratulations. Good luck to you.
Kelly Lynn Taylor, cum laude.
Congratulations. Good luck to you.
Tiffany Tate.
Congratulations. Good luck to you.
David Allen Tamplin Jr. Rocky Strong.
Congratulations. Good luck to you.
Ashley Marie Smith.
Congratulations. Good luck to you. Congratulations. Good luck.
Crystal Sherelle Waring, summa cum laude. Kyle Edward Wilkins. Jeffrey Scott Williams.
Congratulations.
Lawrence David Williams Jr.
Congratulations. Good luck to you.
Jimson Young. Michael Zimmerman.
Congratulations to those students. Thank you.
Judith Zunon. Rogina Bassnett.
I would ask Dr. Teresa Henser, Chair of the Accounting and Finance Department in the John Massey School of Business, to come to the podium for the purpose of presenting the candidates for baccalaureate degrees in the John Massey School of Business.
Will the candidates for the bachelor degrees in the John Massey School of Business please rise? President Minks, these students have completed all requirements for their respective degrees, and they are recommended by the faculty of the John Massey School of Business for the granting of degrees as listed in the program.
Consistent with the statutes of the state of Oklahoma, the rules and regulations of the Higher Learning Commission of the North Central Association of Colleges and Schools, the rules and regulations of the Oklahoma State Regents for Higher Education, and the Regional University System of Oklahoma Board of Regents, and by the authority vested in me by the Regents, it is my pleasure to confer on each of you the baccalaureate degree as printed in the program with the rights, ranks, privileges, and responsibilities such a degree carries among scholars. In testimony thereof, you may now come forward and receive your degree.
Tiffany Dawn Pierce, magna cum laude. Autumn Elizabeth Ammons. Shane Derek Ammons. Rebecca Lachelle Babb. Cody Breeden. Christopher L. Clemens. Joshua Culver. Sharon Dodson. Rohit Gotham. Trista Nicole Hall. Brandon Harrison. Sheila Wanell Scarberry James. Timothy Klulicki. Darius Landy. Nathan Andrew McCoy. Lindy Nicole Morgan. Creed Morris Nathan. Vincent DePaul Gagmo. Ryland David Norman. Allison Marie Pruitt. Micah Ruby. Degan Sedai. Jamie Lee Spruce. Jerome Frederick Teschendorf Jr. Barry Dwayne Watson. Ronnie Wilrich.
I would now invite Dr. Will Maurer, Dean of the School of Education and Behavioral Sciences, to come to the podium for the purpose of presenting the candidates for baccalaureate degrees in the School of Education and Behavioral Sciences.
Will the candidates for bachelor's degrees in education and behavioral sciences please stand? President Minks, these students have completed all of the said requirements for their respective degrees, and they are recommended by the faculty for the granting of the degrees as listed in the program.
Consistent with the statutes of the state of Oklahoma, the rules and regulations of the Higher Learning Commission of the North Central Association of Colleges and Schools, the rules and regulations of the Oklahoma State Regents for Higher Education, and the Regional University System of Oklahoma Board of Regents, and by the authority vested in me by the Regents, it's my pleasure to confer on each of you the baccalaureate degree as printed in the program with the rights, ranks, privileges, and responsibilities such a degree carries among scholars. In testimony thereof, you may now come forward and receive your degree.
Christy Diane Parsons, summa cum laude. Hillary Allison. David Tyler Atnick. Beth Austin. Kara K. Bird. Kimberly Blakey. Sarah Bonner. Lori Ann Brady. Candace Campaign. Veronica Lee Clement. Sarah Ann Converse. Lorraine Michelle DeSiva. Jonna Ruth Dodson, cum laude. Brooke Michelle Elder. Morgan Corray Ellisor. Monica Ferris. Adriana Mendoza Fernandez. Jordan Danielle Hayes. Morgan Nicole Helm. Sean Hodgkins. Sasha Lachey Hoxton. Bobby Joanne Hunter. Catherine E. Jeter. Amanda Jean Jones, magna cum laude. Casey Paul Jones. Tara Danielle Jones. Jory Ketchum. Gina Keys. Shauna Kerner. Jeremy Todd Lyons. Patrick McGinnis. Sarah Beth Morgan. Matthew D. Morris, cum laude. Bonnie Mae Peterson, magna cum laude. Laramie Lee Pfeiffer. Natalie Ramsey. Dawn Renee Richardson. Samuel White Robertson. Valerie Jean Robinson. Aaron Schufelt. Ashley Snow Smallwood. Alyssa Leanne Sprinkle. DeBrian Jarrell Tyson. Felicia Channing Vanderbilt. Tanya D. Van Sickle, magna cum laude. Bryson Whitaker. Nathan Whitware. Brian Woodard, magna cum laude. Carrie Wyrick. Ethan Matson.
I would now ask Dr. Jerry Polson, Assistant Vice President for Academic Affairs and Dean of the School of Graduate and University Studies, to come to the podium for the purpose of presenting the candidates for the Master of Technology, Master of Business Administration, Master of Science in Aerospace, Master of Science in Safety, Master of Behavioral Studies, Master of Arts in Counseling, and Master of Education.
Will the candidates for master's degrees please stand? President Meeks, these students have completed all the requirements for their respective degrees, and they are recommended by the graduate faculty for the granting of degrees in academic hooding as listed in the program.
Consistent with the statutes of the state of Oklahoma, the rules and regulations of the Higher Learning Commission of the North Central Association of Colleges and Schools, the rules and regulations of the Oklahoma State Regents for Higher Education, and the Regional University System of Oklahoma Board of Regents, and by the authority vested in me by the Regents, it's my pleasure to confer on each of you the master's degree as printed in the program, with all the rights, ranks, privileges, and responsibilities such a degree carries among scholars. In testimony thereof, you may now come forward and receive your degree and academic hoodie.
William Cass French, Jr. Rafael Acebas. Jose Alfonso. Brandon Arnold. Wade Beal. Lauren Ashley Lookout. Drew Brummer. Jeffrey Thomas Chesser. Mary Catherine Claxton. Lee L. Cooper III. Catherine Owens Crutchfield. Rosalinda Robin DeLeon. Michael H. Devenich. Dana D. Irvin. Lena Amanda Gilbert. Joseph John Ham. Tommy Hammonds. Richard Hill. Jamie Savage Halsey.
think you tell that I should. Yeah. Never looked better.
Micah Grant Bain.
No, you're doing great.
Glenn Larson. Cheryl Ann LeBeaver.
Goods have never looked better.
Really never have.
No tricks, no tricks. Try not to choke. Okay.
Timothy A. Parker. Michael Andrew Poe.
No, I want it. Come right over here. Right over here. Turn around. There you go. Yeah. Work your hard. All right. You'll do it.
Suman Bira. Joe. Timothy John Rosa.
Thank you, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. Okay. Here. Turn around, sir.
Jeff Santiago. Richard Seaman.
Congratulations.
J. Harold Short.
Stand right over here.
Sill. Rodney Lewis Smith.
Come right over here, sir. Congratulations to you.
Ted Jason Solis. Brandy Lee Wong. Ulrich Williams. Bruce Wilson. Dina Wilson. Joe Chavez.
Try not to choke too much. Yeah, you did.
I'm very pleased to introduce the President of Southeastern's Alumni Association, Mr. Mark Webb, to present the alumni charge. Mark earned a Bachelor of Arts in Communication at Southeastern in 1990. He worked in the radio industry for many years and currently serves as Senior Vice President and Director of Marketing for Shamrock Bank. But you may know him best as the public address announcer at the Savage Storm football and basketball games. Please join me in welcoming Alumni President Mark Webb.
Also a big fan of lunch, so we'll be very, very brief. First of all, kudos to the family of Mr. Smith for the best horn salute. That was good. Nice work in the back. Thank you. Very well done. Well played. Well played. Thank you. Thank you. One more. All right. Very good. As always, very privileged and honored to get to come to you on behalf of the Southeastern Alumni Association. And graduates, as you stepped across this stage, you also stepped into membership. Absolutely free for the first year. That's the important part. But I hope that you will see the benefit of membership and that you'll be alumni members forever. You will always be a member of the Southeastern family. So we hope that you continue that with membership in the Alumni Association. Real briefly, if I could, if those not here on the floor, other alumni members that are present today, if you wouldn't mind standing just so I can see you. Southeastern alums, are you here? Please stand. Yeah. Okay. Very good. Your membership is not free, and we would like to speak to you in a few minutes, so we'd like to talk to you. Just a couple of things. I just wanted to touch on, President Minks mentioned earlier about each of you having a very unique story to tell, and a very diverse group, very unique group. I just hope that, again, that you will carry Southeastern with you wherever you go, and that will be part of that unique story, and that you're very proud of where you came from. I can tell you, I was sharing with Ross earlier that it was one of those things when I graduated that I was just so glad, so incredibly glad to be out, to be finished, to walk across the stage and go start my conquering of the world. But as I've aged, my love for this university has grown, and my appreciation for my education has as well. So whether it's now or years down the road, I know that appreciation will come. And so with that, I congratulate you on behalf of the Southeastern Alumni Association. And again, I welcome you into membership. Each of you received a certain, like Mr. Smith, a certain very special welcome across the stage from your family and friends that were in attendance. Some larger applauses and some smaller. But as President Minks said, I get to do the public address for sports, and crowds are always great, and when I get one, I always try and do something. So, if you would, as a group, in just a minute, and then you'll remain standing because I think we have the alma mater coming, but that part of the program will come. But I'd like to have all of you help me to congratulate this group in a very special way. So, Storm fans, on your feet, and please congratulate the graduating class of December 2011. Thank you and God bless you. Congratulations.
Thank you, Mark. Thank you, Mark. Please remain standing. We'd like to invite everyone to join us at the Visual and Performing Arts Center for a reception in honor of our graduates, their families, and our guest speaker, Mr. Rodney Bivens, and his wife, Dawn, to be held immediately following the commencement ceremony. To close our ceremony, please stand and join the Southeastern Chorale as we sing our alma mater, the lyrics of which can be found in your program, and please remain standing until the recessional is complete.
Amen.